We are going to discuss two important programs from today onwards. Today, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, 3 days we are going to discuss at least two programs. Those two programs are very important. These six programs very repeatedly asked. So I already told you. The first topic is a gunshot. What is the first topic? Preprocessor directives. That is the gunshot question. There are no subtopics. Sub questions are not there. Direct question will be there. But when coming to the files, we have almost 6 to 8 important questions. Totally, we have 8 to 10 important questions. If you read 8 questions, then you are going to get 4 important questions from that. So we are going to discuss today two important programs. The first one is writing a structure we are going to create, and that structure data, the data members of the structure we are going to write into the file, and from the same file we will read the structure data and again we will print on the monitor. So go to file and new, go to file and save. So this one I'm naming it as a file4.c. press enter, maximize it. So in this program, I'm going to explain to write the structure data or bulk data into the file. We are going to use the two functions. One function for writing the structured data into the file, and one function for reading the structured data from the file. The first one is fwrite function. This function will write the block of data or structured data into the file. Next one, to read structured data, opposite to that one, we have a fread function. These two functions we are going to discuss. And start the program with one header file, #include stdio.h. Open the void main function to execute our program. At the end, you write down get ch to hold back on the screen. Right. So to write anything into the what we can say in this particular program, we are going to write structure data. So first we need to create a structure here. So how to create a structure? How to define a structure? By using the keyword struct. Struct followed by the structure name. Already we discussed student structure we discussed, and what employee structure also we discussed. Today we will discuss one player structure. When we talk about player, any cricket player or something we will discuss. Player, struct followed by player. Struct is used to define a structure. That keyword is used to define a structure, and the structure name is a player. And in between opening and closing braces, I am going to define the members of the structure. A player structure will have the name of the player. So name of the player may be up to 15 characters, character array I'm taking. So it is a character type. Next, after name, I want to group the age of the player. So age will be a integer type. So the type of the age is integer. After this, I want to define how many runs. So what about runs? Runs is a, again I'm taking it as an integer type. So these three properties I am grouping under a player structure. So structure player will have a name, age, and runs. So I will define the structure with the name player, and when I go to the inside main, I will create the variable for a structure player. When you create the variable for structure player, the memory is allocated. Memory is allocated for the name, age, and runs. Then I will give the values to name and age and runs. Then I will use the functions fwrite and store the structure data. That means name and age, runs, I will store it into the file. So how to create a structure variable? Again use the keyword struct. Struct followed by the which type of structure variable you are going to create, player type. So struct space the name of the structure player, and the variable is p1 player 1, and player 1 will have the data in between opening and closing braces. I am going to give the data for all the data members of the structure. So first member is the character or a string, so that I am giving the name of the player is Sachin. And the next member is age. Age is like I can say 47. So it is an integer type. No need to keep into the any opening and closing. Quotation. So that simply you can give 47. So 47. And the third one is runs. So how many runs? Approximately I will write 14,000 runs, like the 1400 or 14,000 runs, like that I can take. So Sachin will go into the name, 47 will go into the age, and 14,000 runs will go into the runs section. So this data, what is Sachin 47 and 14,000? This is the data of the P1 structure variable. So this structure data, which belongs to P1 structure, I want to write into the file. Before that, you open the file. To write this structure data into the file, you first open the file. How to open a file? By using the fopen function. Open a file. For that, I want to use the function fopen. The first argument is the file name. The file name I am taking as data.txt, comma, and I'm opening in writing mode because I want to write this structure data into the data.txt. Into this file, I'm going to write P1 structure data, which is Sachin 47 and 14,000 runs. So after taking these two arguments, fopen function will return the file pointer fp. So create the file pointer also. How to create file pointer? Capital F ILE and the pointer star fp. And check whether the file is really opened or not. How to check? Use the if condition. If fp equal to null, then file is not opened. You simply exit from the file by using the function exit 0. If file is not null, fp is not null, then this particular statement is false and exit 0 won't be executed and program is not terminated. Then you will come to the next line. When you come to the next line, you will write the code for how to write this structured data into the file, because file is already opened. Now you are able to write some data. Which data? Structured data. To write structured data into the file, we have to use the function fwrite. Fwrite, this function, that means we are writing structured data. Write structured data into file. How to write? Using the function fwrite. Here, how many arguments it will take? The first argument, the address of the structure variable. What is the structure variable? Structure variable is P1. That P1 contains the structure data Sachin 47 and 14,000. So we have to give this address of P1 we have to give. How to represent address of P1 structure variable? Address of P1, comma. Second, the size we have to, second argument is size of the P1. Who will know the size of the P1? Nobody knows. So we will assign that work to size of operator. Inside this, we will give the P1. So size of operator will calculate the P1 structure size here, and it returns in the place of the size of operator, comma. The third argument is how many times you are going to read data from the P1? Only one time. And the last argument is, so when you read, for example, this structured data, size of operator returned some, for example, 20 bytes. That means P1 size is 20. So that the 20 bytes of data is collected or read from the P1 structure variable. How many times it will be read? only one time. So 20 bytes of memory or 20 bytes of or 20 characters are read from P1 structure variable only one time, and where you are going to store those 20 bytes of memory, you have to write as a fourth argument into which file? Into fp file. So into that file we are going to write. So let me explain one more time. Fwrite function will read 20 bytes from where you got 20. That size of operator will calculate the size of the p1. What is p1? P1 is a structure variable. So we don't need to calculate the size of how much size is there in the p1 structure variable. We don't have to calculate it. Size of operator will calculate. Just we have to give for which one we have to calculate that variable, we have to give inside the size of operator. So it will take p1 and it will calculate. For example, if it is 20 bytes of memory is collected or it is read from the p1 structure variable. How many times it will be read? Only one time. So 20 bytes are read only one time, and those 20 bytes of characters or memory is stored into or written into fp. What is fp? Fp is a data.txt file. So into that file 20 bytes of memory is collected from p1 and written into the fp file only one time. So with this, we return structure data. What is structure data? Sachin 47 14,000 is written into file pointer. So now we will see whether it is successfully returned or not. So now you press Alt F9. So now you got 00 errors. And next press Control F9. Program is successfully executed. Now you go to the folder location and see whether structure data is returned or not with the fwrite function. Properties, open file location, Turbo C3, bin, go to the end, drag to the down. So here data.txt file, this is the data.txt, open it. Now you see that data Sachin and everything is written. Sachin is written into the data, and but it is not showing because it is a structured data. It will be encoded. So it is in the encoded format. It is not a normal text. It is an encoded format, so that it is not showing in a proper way. So that the structured data is written into this data.txt. Now what we are going to do with the fwrite function, we written structured data Sachin and this much data written into the file. So by using fread function from this data.txt file, we will read same Sachin and 47 14,000. That data we will read into the program and we will print on the monitor. Till now we written the structured data into the file. Now whatever data in the file, that data we will read into the another structure, and that structure we will print on the monitor. So again go back to the program. Now again one more function I am writing. This is for reading. So read structure data. Read structure data from the file. To read structure data from the file, we have to use the function fread. To understand this function, we have to remember four important points. First, to understand any function, what is the function name, how many arguments it will take, what are the type of arguments, and after taking those many arguments as an input, what that function will do. So here also function name is fread, and how many arguments it will take? It will take exactly 4 arguments. First one is, what is the type? The first one is the address of the structure, address of P2, but P2 is not defined. Here you define the P2, so P2. Don't give any value to P2 structure variable. For P1 we created and we given Sachin 47 and 14,000, but for P2 no value is given, not given, not initialized with any values. But from where we are going to get the values into P2? Whatever Sachin and 47 14,000 written into the data.txt, that data we will read by using the fread function, and that data only we are going to store it into P2. And after storing into P2, we will read data from the P2. So, so when you are performing reading operation with fread function, it is not allowed because data.txt opened in only writing mode. So you can only write data. But we are doing reading operations. For this, you have to close the same file. Which file? Data.txt first. How to close it? Fclose. Which file you are going to close? FP file. And now you open the file freshly in a reading mode. So how to open? Fopen. The first argument is the file name data.txt, and you open in the reading mode. Open in the reading mode, it will return file pointer that you will store it into the FP. Very good. Now if you want to check whether the file is successfully opened or not, you can use this following if condition here. After this, we are going to read structured data from the file by using the fread function. Right. So into the P2, what is P2? P2 is the another structure variable. What is P2? P2 is another structure variable that is not initialized with any other values. So into that P2, we are going to read data, structured data that is written into the file earlier. That data we are going to store it into this P2 structure variable. So now you see, for reading the structured data from the file, we are using the function fread and P2. And next argument is what? How much data you are going to read from the file. So how much data? Size of how much size we are going to read? The size of P1. So how much size is there? How much size you written into the file earlier? That much size only we are going to read from the file. Comma. The third argument is how many times you are going to read from the file? Only one time. From which file you are going to read is the fourth argument. So now this fread function will read the structured data from the FP. What is FP? FP is data.txt, which is opened in the reading mode. So what is there in data.txt? The data what we written earlier. Which data we written? Sachin 47 14,000. That structured data is there in the data.txt. Now FP means data.txt. From that file, the Sachin and what 47 and 14,000 is retrieved and stored into P2. So how much data we have to retrieve? How this function will know? We will calculate here. For example, P1 size is earlier we assumed as 20. So 20. So 20 bytes of memory only one time is retrieved from FP file and stored into P2. So now P2 will have the same values as P1. So Sachin it will have, and it will have the 47 and it will have 14,000. Now if you print P2, what you are going to print it? We are going to print the data which is in the P1. So actually we written data into the P1 only, but P2 is not given with any values. But now if you print P2, what is printed? Sachin 47 and 14,000 is printed. But from where we got the values into P2? We got values into P2 from the FP file. So who retrieved it? Our function fread. Fread will read 20 bytes of data only one time from the FP, and that data what is retrieved is stored into P2. Now if you print P2, that data what we retrieved is printed. So printf, how to print the data on the monitor? So use the printf function, double quotation. In the two new lines we can take. First one is player name percentile. Yes. Now you take one more new line. After this, you are going to print the age of the player, that is percentile D. Now after take one more new line, here I am going to print the player runs. How many runs we are going to print? percentile D. How to replace percentile S, percentile D, and percentile D? We have to read from the S2. I mean, we have to read from the P2. P2 means the second structure variable. From that, we are going to read. So P2 dot name. What name? Player name. P2 dot name. How we initialized? First one is name, age, and runs. So you know how to retrieve the values from structure member. How to retrieve the values from the structure variable?
We can use dot operator or...
Yeah, we can use dot operator. P2 is having the structure data retrieved from FP file. So when you print P2, what is printed? The data what we retrieved from the file FP is printed. So how to retrieve the information, how to access the data members of P2 structure variable? The syntax is the structure variable P2 dot name of the data member. So first one I am going to access name, that is replaced with the percentile S here. And percentile D, age will be replaced with the P2 dot age. And next runs are replaced with P2 dot runs. P2 dot runs. Is that same thing we declared in the structure? Yes. Name, age, and runs. Now with this printf function is going to print the P2 data on the monitor. After this, reading and writing is completed. Next, I'm closing the function. I'm using the function fclose and I'm closing the file fp. Right. Press Alt F9. One error. What is the error? Statement is missing here. After this printf statement, we have to keep one semicolon, right? So again press Alt F9. 0 errors. Now press Control F9. What is printed? Sachin 47 14,000. These Sachin 47 40,000 are retrieved from the P2 actually, P2 structure variable. But we created only P1 structure variable. In that we initialized with Sachin 47 and 14,000. And next, those 47, that the name of the Sachin 47 14,000 belongs to P1. After this, we created a file. We opened a file, and into that file, the data of P1, the data members of P1. That means the Sachin, this 47 40,000 in P1 is written into the file by using fwrite. So already I shown what is the data in the FP file. So next, same file I am closing and opening in reading mode. So whatever data we written into that data.txt, I am retrieving with fread function, and that data Sachin 47 40,000 is copied into P2. What is P2? Another structure variable which is not initialized with any value. But how we got the values into P2? We have retrieved from file FP. That data, whatever we have in the FP, is stored into P2. Now P2 will have same Sachin 47 and 40,000. If you print the P2 values, you will see the values like this. Sachin 47 and 14,000. So the data into the P2 is retrieved from that particular file FP. So with this program is completed. How to write structured data into the file is completed. Now in file 5, we are going to discuss one more important program. In that program, we are going to create one file. Into that, we are going to insert some random integers. So first let me open the file, go to new, maximize it, and go to file, save it with file 5.c. In this particular program, what we are going to do? So we are going to create a file 1, and we are going to create odd file, and we are going to create a even file. So when you create file, in this file, first file, we are going to write some random integers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we will open file 1 in a what we can say writing mode, and we will write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. Any data integers you can write into the file 1. After this, same file we have to open in a reading mode, and we have to read one integer. If the integer is even, that even integer must be stored into even file. If it is a odd integer, we have to store it into the odd file. So first what you have to do, we have to create one file. That file we have to create in a writing mode, and you have to write some integer values into that particular file. And after that, we have to close the file which is opened in a writing mode and freshly open in a reading mode and read one integer. First I will read 1, and I will test whether that 1 is a even or odd. It is a odd, so that will be stored into odd file 1. Next I will read a 2 from the file, so that 2 is even, so that will stored into even file 2. Next, we will read 3. 3 is a odd number, so I am going to store it into odd file. So next I will read 4. 4 is a even number, so I am going to store it into even file. Next I will read 5, so that 5 will go into the odd file because it is a odd number. And 6 I will read. 6 is a even number, so that will go into the even file. So when you are opening this one in a writing mode, when you are opening this file one in a reading mode and you are reading one integer, if it is a even number, you are going to store it into even file. If it is a odd number, you are going to store it into odd file. So you are writing into odd file and even file. So these two files must be opened in a writing mode when you are writing into odd file and even file. So let me explain one more time. We have to first create file 1 in a reading mode. We have to open, then we have file 1 we must open, and that will be in a writing mode. So first write all the integers like this. After writing all the integers, we have to close the file and again open in a reading mode. Then you read one integer, and if the integer is even, and you will write into the even file. If it is a odd, you will write into the odd file. So these two files, odd and even files, must be in a writing mode, and this file must be in a reading mode. So now we will go with the program. Put w, get w. These two functions we are going to use in this particular program to insert the integers into file. So start the program. First hash include stdio.h, open the main function. So first what we have to do, we have to create one file. Into that file we have to write some integers. So how to open a file? Fopen, first argument is file name. So numbers, I am taking the file name as a numbers.txt, comma, first I am writing numbers into the numbers.txt, so that file must be opened in writing mode, and it will return file pointer fp. So create the file pointer also. Now check if the file is opened or not. How to check? If file is double equal to null, that means file is not open. Then you will execute exit 0 function. Program is terminated. If fopen function created numbers.txt file in a writing mode successfully, then it does not return null pointer to fp. If fp is not null, this particular statement is false. Then exit 0 won't be executed. After this, write one statement, one printf statement like this: enter a integers enter integers and press -1 to stop. So whenever user is entering the number of integers, to capture integers by writing one for loop, so how many integers you are going to capture? So the maximum numbers I'm writing starting from I equal to 0, and I must be less than 10. So that means 0 to 9, 10 repetitions, 10 integers you can enter. And whenever you want to discontinue in between those 10 integers, you can press -1. So that means after inserting the 5 integers, you don't want to continue, then you press the -1 to exit. So I plus plus, this I variable is not defined. So integer I, you define it. Open the brace, close the brace, and whenever user is entering 1 integer for 1 repetition, to capture 1 integer with scanf percentile d comma and store that integer into the address of x. X is not defined, and you go and define the x variable also, integer x. And discontinue the repetitions or stop entering integers if x value equal to -1. X value equal to -1. If x value equal to -1, break the loop and discontinue entering the integers. Otherwise, if it is x is other than -1, put that integer x by using the putw function. Put integer x into the file fp. So this will repeat until you press -1, or it will iterate 10 times, so that 10 integers are captured and stored into the fp by using the putw. All the integer x values are stored into fp, and whenever x value is -1, the entire for loop is what we can say is stopped, or we can say we will come out of the for loop whenever x value equal to -1. So with this, some integers we inserted into the file fp. So now you close the file fp and open it for reading mode. When you open in reading mode, we will read a 1 integer from the file fp, and we will test the 1 integer is even or odd. If it is even, we will insert into even file. If it is odd, we will insert into odd file. So even and odd file must be in writing mode, and this should be in reading mode. So first open the file numbers.txt in reading mode. How to open? Fopen the file name numbers.txt comma in a reading mode. Other two files must be FO, FE, F even file must be opened in a writing mode. File name is even.txt comma, it should be in a writing mode. And F odd file, this must be opened in writing mode. The name of the file is odd.txt comma, it should be in a writing mode. Now when numbers.txt is opened in reading mode, the other two files are opened in writing mode. So we'll check whether the file pointers are created or not. Yes, fp file pointer is there, and fo file pointer are also there. Now when numbers.txt is opened in reading mode, you read one integer and check whether that integer is even or odd. If it is even, you write it into even file. If it is odd, write it into odd file. So how to retrieve? Use the function getW. It will take from which file pointer you are going to retrieve one integer from fp numbers.txt. How many times you are going to retrieve? Now how many integers are there? Those many integers you are going to retrieve, and you will store it into x. So this process will repeat until it is not equal to end of file. When it reaches to the end of file, this condition will stop the iteration. So for iterations, we will choose the while loop because number of iterations we don't know. So every time while loop will iterate get w. Whenever get w is executed, one integer is captured and stored into x. And same that integer is compared with end of file. Integer is not equal to end of file. Condition is true. Then we will go to the next while statements. And in the while statement, we will write the testing of x is whether it is even or odd. Close the while loop. When it is going to be false, whenever the all the integers are retrieved and you will reach to the end of file, then x will be end of file. End of file not equal to end of file, then condition is false. That means we will retrieve all the integers from the fp numbers.txt until end of file is reached. So for first iteration, condition is true and we retrieved one integer. In between opening and closing braces, here you write down some condition. If x modulus of 2 double equal to 0, that means if even number. When x is a even number, then you will put into the even.txt by using the putw function. So x value is written into the f even. Otherwise, if the condition is false, that means the x value is an odd number. Then by using the putw function, put that integer x value into the odd file fo. That's it. So with this code, all the even integers will go into the even file and odd integers will go into the odd file. So after this even and odd file insertion, close both the files. Close the fopen, the event.txt file, odd.txt. So to close all the files, we will use fclose all, fclose all function. So all files will be closed. Now you will open this even file and odd file for reading mode, and you will see whether really even numbers are stored into even file or the odd numbers are stored into odd file or what. So opening fp fe equal to fopen, opening a even file, even.txt, and that must be opened in reading mode. fo, open the file in a reading mode. odd.txt, comma, writing mode, reading mode. Now you read first even.txt and print all the even numbers. How to read? To read one integer, get w. From which file you are reading? From even file. How many times you are going to read? Until it reaches to the end of file. So whenever you are reading first integer, you will store it into x. So how many times you are going to read till the file is not equal to end of file. So for repetition of the get w, write the while loop. So while loop will iterate the get w. So how many times it will iterate until it is not equal to end of file. So see, for the first time while loop will iterate get w. So it will read one integer from fp and store it into x, and that integer is not equal to end of file. Then you will go to the while loop. So when you go to the while loop, you will print the integer x. How to print integer x? Printf %d. Before that, give one tab space. Then again, get w will retrieve second integer from the file, and it is not equal to x. I mean, getW will return retrieve second integer that will be stored into X, and same thing compared with end of file. So integer is not equal to end of file, and that integer is printed. Next, third integer is retrieved and stored into X. That integer is not equal to end of file true. Then that integer is printed here. Until all the integers are completed from the FE file, all the integers are retrieved and compared, and when the condition is going to be false. When we reach to the end of file in the file FP, then end of file is retrieved and stored into X. Then that end of file is compared here. End of file is not equal to end of file. Condition is false. Then the while loop is terminated. So when you are printing this, you print one statement, printf. The data in even file is, then you can print all the data in the even file. So same thing, you will use the same code for printing the odd file also. Go to the edit menu, copy, come here and go to the edit menu and paste, modify it. Now we are going to print the data in the odd file. So we have to retrieve the data from the odd file FO. So how we printed the even data, the even file data here, same way we can print the odd file data here. So these two statements will print the even file data and odd file data. After printing, there is no need of the file, so that use the function fclose all to close the all the files we opened here. Here two files are opened in a reading mode, even.txt and odd.txt. Those files you can close by writing single statement fclose all, comma x, comma x. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I don't want to continue, so pressing -1, and you see the data in the even file is 246. These are even numbers. The data in the odd file is 135. These are odd numbers. So with this, we completed this program. Now we will try to see the whether the numbers.txt and the odd file and even file is with the data or not. Actually, it will be in a encoded format, but something will be shown there. We will go and see. Go to the file location, properties, open file location, turbo C3, bin. Here, go to the last and check numbers.txt. Something will be there, but it is encoded. And odd file you can see, even file you can see, something is there but encoded. Odd data, it is encode format. Right. Go back to the program and close everything.